You're doing the most ordinary thing, sorting papers at your desk. Then one sheet catches your finger and everything changes. You freeze, staring at a cut barely visible to the naked eye. And yet the pain is completely, infuriatingly disproportionate. A kitchen knife nick that bleeds more somehow hurts less. This isn't a glitch. It's your body's threat detection system doing exactly what. To understand why, you need to know what pain actually is, and it's not what most people think. Pain is not a measurement of damage. It is your brain's best guess about how much danger you're in. The signal starts with specialized nerve endings called nociceptors. Nociceptors detect heat, pressure, and chemicals that signal potential tissue harm. They don't feel pain themselves. They fire electrical signals toward your spinal. Your brain receives those signals and constructs the experience of pain from them. Now here's the first reason paper cuts are so brutal. Location. Your fingertips have one of the highest concentrations of nociceptors anywhere on your. This density exists because your hands are precision tools. But that same sensitivity means even a tiny cut triggers an enormous number. A kitchen knife cut on your torso triggers far fewer receptors per square. More receptors firing means a louder, more urgent signal arriving at your brain. But nerve density alone doesn't explain everything. The paper itself is part of the problem. Paper looks smooth, but its cutting edge is actually irregular and micro-serrated. That serrated edge tears through multiple layers of skin cells rather than slicing. The result is more tissue disruption along the wound edges than a clean. Now here's the counterintuitive twist that most people never consider. Paper cuts usually don't bleed much, and that is actually bad news for pain. When you bleed, the flow helps physically wash away chemical pain signals. Damaged cells release chemicals like bradykinin and prostaglandins that sensitize nociceptors. These chemicals turn the volume dial on pain even higher. In a bleeding wound, those chemicals dilute and drain away with the blood. In a paper cut, they stay pooled right where the nociceptors are. The wound is also shallow enough to stay open instead of closing under. Open edges mean nerve endings remain exposed directly to air, heat. Every time you bend your finger, those edges flex. Your hands are in constant motion, so the pain keeps resetting all day. Meanwhile, your brain is doing its own unhelpful thing upstairs. Pain researchers understand that the brain weighs context heavily when deciding how much to hurt. A finger is your primary tool for interacting with the world, so your brain treats threats to it seriously. Evolutionarily, a damaged hand was a survival crisis. It meant you couldn't hunt, build, or defend yourself. So your brain inherited a policy of taking hand injuries very seriously. The pain you feel is your brain saying, protect this area and stop using it immediately. This is the gate control principle. Pain can be modified by other signals competing for attention. That's why rubbing the area around a paper cut actually does reduce. The pressure signal from rubbing competes with the pain signal at the gate. Running it under cold water does the same. Temperature signals crowd out the pain channel. So everything about a paper cut is designed accidentally to maximize pain signaling. Dense receptor field, serrated tearing, no bleeding to flush chemicals, and an open exposed wound. Layer all that on a body part, your brain is genetically inclined. And you get an experience that feels completely out of proportion. But here's the deeper idea worth carrying with you. Pain is information, not a report card on damage. Your body isn't lying to you when a paper cut destroys your afternoon. It's running a sophisticated threat assessment program that evolved long before office supplies existed. Next time a single sheet of paper ruins your morning, you can at least appreciate the engineering. Your brain isn't overreacting, it just never got the memo.